Mississippi in the middle of a dry spell. Jimmy Rogers on the Victrola up high. Mama's dancing with baby on her shoulder. The sun is setting like molasses in the sky. The boy could sing, knew how to move everything. Always wanted more. If you please.
A new singer, I believe, has won 2 MTV Awards, has she not?
Yes, she has.
Alannah Myles is with us.
I've been away a long time, I know that. But you know, when you make a decision to do things for your, both your creativity and for your well-being, it takes usually a lot longer than you even expect it to before you can re-emerge. And it's taken me a long time, as I said, but I intend to re-emerge. And I don't intend to disappoint my rock fans. Nor do I intend to disappoint people who have loved the blues factor in my voice. I do hope you enjoy my music, and I'm doing the best I can do. That's really all I can invest in. I was working with Mike Borkowski as a musician and brought him in as a co-producer on my Arrival record. It was so successful I made a decision finally to bring Mike Borkowski back into the studio with me and work on a studio record, which involved a great deal of complexity, and he did not disappoint me. This is Mike Borkowski. He is my producer of the upcoming Black Velvet record, or the one you're listening to now. And I'm very, very lucky to have him in our presence to tell you how it was. I couldn't be happier with the results as crafted songs. It's a lot like my first and second record where they're not overproduced, they're just produced. They're really well produced. Every sound makes a difference on that record, on these records.
Well, I think we try to keep it thoughtful. I mean, if something's there, it's there for a reason.
Yeah.
But there's lots of ear candy, but the essential elements of like groove, melody, song structure, they're all there.
Yeah.
And then the other, if you put headphones on, there's like, oh, that's just cool things going on either side of your head.
A lot of stuff going on.
And we can thank Terry for those wonderful treatments and the mixing, and Veronica too. I mean, we put all the pieces there, and then it takes a skilled
qualified
mix engineer to make decisions. What do we use? What don't we use?
See the moon on the rise. Here in my heart.
I first came upon Terry Brown when I was in songwriting sessions every Monday with Tony Duggan-Smith, one of my collaborators. And I was perplexed because I needed to mix my record and I didn't know where to go. And I needed someone who had a voluminous ability, production ability, to give me all the bells and whistles. And I didn't have the budget. I'd run out of money. I'd already been taking out bank loans after spending $250,000. So my friend Tony suggested, well, what about Terry Brown? I said, he wouldn't, would he? You know, the Rush producer and cutting crew and a bunch of other fantastic people. He said, well, yeah, why don't you try him? So I called him up. We cut a deal, went to the bank. They made me a loan. And next thing you know, I was in the studio working with Terry Brown, and God bless his heart, he gave me a labor of love. We mixed for 3.5 months. It was just brilliant. He was so respectful. I've never been involved in a situation with a mixing engineer where I was given 100% ears. And what a fantastic fellow to work with. And it's a big challenge for me because, not because I say so, but because it's funny, in life we get full up with a certain element. I got full up with there was so many tracks, and it was so much work. There was so much. Your mind is so filled with complexity.
Yeah, but it happens for a reason, though, because at that time, that was the way those tunes needed to be approached.
Precisely. That's the kind of songs I wrote.
They wouldn't have worked without the ice cream machine.
No way.
Truck on the front.
No, they wouldn't.
I mean, stuff like that. That were all
stuff made
conceptualized.
It fun.
I'm in the prime of my life. I feel like a kid. One of these days it'll all catch up. I'd rather fight than quit. I'm in the prime of my life. Something's gotta give. Even if it kills, I won't give up. Kill the killjoy. Live.
We're in the studio here producing, let's see, this is Comme ça va, that Kurt Schefter is playing his solo on. And Mike Borkowski is my producer in Toronto, Canada. And we're having a gay old time in the studio here, just rocking up and enjoying ourselves. It was quite fun, actually, because even though I've never really been guided by a record company, no one's ever really come in to tell me what to do or to observe what I'm doing. I've been left pretty much alone. It was fun because I was the only boss there, and that made it even more fun.
Anywhere but home. That's where you're going. It sucks to be alone. But it's safer not knowing. Everything feels wrong. You don't know if you're left or right. Passion's running strong, and you can't see the light. It's cold out there alone, as you're filling up your belly with doubt.
Though I have many collaborators, Nancy Simmons, Christopher Ward, and David Tyson are one of my favorite songwriting partners. And Robert Priest, of course, who has been responsible for hits of mine in the past. I'm very, very happy to have stumbled upon a guitar maker who I brought my guitars to for repair. And every time he played, I loved his guitar playing, and his music would bring me to writing songs. So I said, we must get together. He was a songwriter. He worked in bands and as a musician, and being a luthier was simply his bread and butter. So we got together and wrote songs, and it was so successful that we made it our Songwriting Mondays. For the past 8 years, I've spent every Monday with Tony Duggan-Smith writing songs for my upcoming records, and he wrote Prom of My Life on this particular record with me. If anybody tries to plan something with me, tries to tell me what to sing, or how to sing it, or who to write with, it's not going to work. So people send me songs all the time, or I'd like to write with you, and I go, yeah, okay, sure.
Well, the thing is, it's kind of going for the blood and guts of a song, because there's lots of time later to refine everything, and you're going to spend all that time when you're recording it. you know. But when you're writing it, if you get caught up in trying to refine every little detail,
oh, then it loses loses its heart.
Yeah,
it loses its soul.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you go with what, I don't know, I can't put it any other way than with what God gave you. You know, it's been a blessing, and when you acknowledge that blessing, and you don't give it too much thought, just acknowledge it and let it go. Again and again, there we wind up back at that same trough, and it spills forth, and it's remarkable, and it's an amazing feeling of having accomplished a song so fast and furious. It's out of you. It's written, but every time it's sung after that is going to be exactly the same way as when it first came out. And I've done this now for many years.
Esther walks the hall, carrying a candle, listens at the wall for a sign of life. Closing her eyes till the room fades away, counting the chimes in the church of our Savior ringing out to faces in the crowd.
I was wandering outside the Much Music Building in Toronto, Canada, and I stumbled upon this sitar player who was busking in the street with his wife. And I was completely blown away by this guy's. He was playing an Indian instrument, but he was Oriental, and he was doing pop songs, U2 songs. And I was just blown away. I went, I don't know where I'm going to use you, but I want to use you. So I got his number, and about 2 years later, I called him up and brought him into the studio, and he didn't know that the song he was playing on, Black Velvet, was that I was the artist who originally recorded it. He thought I was a girl in Canada who was recutting the Black Velvet song by Alannah Myles. And much to his surprise, he was shocked when he found out that he was actually recutting the song.
The Grammy goes to Black Velvet, Alannah Myles. Take a deep breath. Wow, I didn't expect it. Gee, there's a lot of people to thank about this because we've had a 2-year run with this record. The little girl from Canada, boy oh boy.
If you please.